and I had a really bold vision for Call to Lead. And this is something that I personally, and again, I've been in the event space for over 15 years. I have never seen something this ambitious in this kind of way. Welcome back to the Slay Your Day podcast. I am so excited that you're here with me today because I'm breaking down all things Call to Lead. Now, Kelly and I had such an amazing time with all 200 of the women that attended this event, and we did something so different than any other event I've ever seen before. And I want to break down for you what are some of these strategies that we did that you can start incorporating maybe into your own events, and what worked for us, what we're refining, the feedback that we got, and then invite you to a couple opportunities that we have coming up, both inside my High Performance Academy and with Call to Lead. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the future of events, the 7 proven ways to revolutionize your event strategy. And all of this to say that, number one, I am so grateful. Kelly and I are both so grateful for all of the women that came out to Call to Lead, to all of our sponsors, to those of you that saw this big vision that we have with leading with faith and family and business, and truly being able to do all of the things. And both myself and Kelly really, had this vision. We came together and we had this vision because we want to show women that you can have it all. You can have the business, you can have the marriage, you can have the family, you can take vacations and really fuel into your faith and your family and all the areas that are important to you, and do it in a way that serves this greater, higher level. And that is the kind of woman that we are really speaking to at Call to Lead, the woman that feels like she really wants to tap into a community that is showing and leading the way in how to do this. So this conversation is just getting started, and this movement really is just getting started. So I want to share with you what worked, some things that we're kind of like refining, but I also want to share with you 7 of those proven ways to elevate your event strategy. And so for those of you that don't know, my background is actually in event planning. So before I moved to Florida, I was doing event planning in Pennsylvania for about 5 years. So I had my own company. So I had my own business that I did event planning, and I worked at a golf club for about, 4 or 5 years, where I was also doing their events, their marketing, the staffing, the social media. I was running a lot, we'll say, at this particular venue, and I had so much fun doing it. And, events, they have a mind of their own because you think it's going to be one thing and then it turns into something else. But Kelly and I had a really bold vision for Call to Lead. And whether it was from our sponsors to what you were experiencing in the room to what you were getting post event, this is something that I personally, and again, I've been in the event space for over 15 years. I have never seen something this ambitious in this kind of way, that Kelly and I have curated and will continue to curate as these events unfold and as you come and get to experience them live and in person, and all the different elements that we're incorporating. So I want to break down some of these strategies that we're incorporating that works really well, that we're refining, and then also some of the feedback and ways that you can join us, whether it's in my intimate community of the High Performance Academy, where we have our own events and weekly calls and coaching and an amazing community of women, or on the broader scope of bringing women into community and connection and collaboration with Call to Lead. So let's break down these 7 proven ways to elevate your event strategy. So the first one that I want to share with you is Kelly and I incorporated this beautiful pre-event networking party. We actually did a couple of these. And what was really great with these pre-event networking parties is that it really set the tone for the women that showed up. We were able to get the ladies to connect with each other, to really kind of integrate each other for ladies that didn't know one another before the event. They were actually able to connect. And I think that the women that did show up and prioritize getting to these pre-event networking parties that we had really were able to tap in deeper to the experience. They caught the vision of what we were doing. And it was something that they were able to build the momentum once they were in the room. So if you see that Kelly and I are doing these pre-event networking parties, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get in the room, in a virtual room, because what happens in here is a couple of things. Number one, you get clarity on what's actually happening and what you can expect at the event. The second thing is you get to meet with the women and actually connect and collaborate before you even get in the room. And then the third thing, this kind of goes with my second tip that I want to share with you, is that we are building out this community and really doing it in a way where it's kind of like a choose your own adventure style, where you get to go as deep or as in depth with these ladies as you would like to go. So the second thing that I want to share with you is that we've curated an event directory, an attendee guide for the women that are at the pre-events as well as at the event and our sponsors and speakers. So this is a great way to have a digital kind of like print style version of the attendees, the sponsors, the speakers. And this really helps to facilitate like the intentional networking, because we were on a call and one of these pre-networking party calls, and we're like, drop your Instagram, share what it is that you do. But like, it goes so fast and there's so many women in the room. It's like, all the names and the introductions go so fast that the directory really allows you to go deeper. So this is something that we are cultivating and continuing to curate as we move forward. We are actually doing a post-event networking party that I would love to invite you to. Now, this is only for the women that were at Call to Lead, either this past event that we had, or if you are getting your ticket to the next Call to Lead, because we want you ladies having the conversations, having the communication, having your own collaborations in your own unique ways. So this allows you to have those conversations and go deeper, even when myself or Kelly are not in the mix. So that being said, if you head over to, and I'll actually drop the link in the show notes, but if you head over to sandyglandt.com, so Sandi with an I, Sandi Glandt, GLANDT.com /called to lead. And again, I'll link it down in the show notes. You can actually grab your early bird tickets right now. And I'm going to dive deeper into like what this looks like and all the levels and things like that we'll be offering for next year. But right now, and at the time of recording this, we are still in early bird ticket season, we'll say. So definitely grab your tickets. And if you grab your tickets before October 13th, you can join us at the post-event Call to Lead virtual networking party. So I hope to see you there. Burnout doesn't take a summer break. Between road trips, long days in the sun, and everyone's schedules exploding, your body takes the hit. Soursop gummies are your daily defense, fueled by over 200 active compounds to boost energy, strengthen immunity, reduce inflammation, and calm your stress. This is a mom's must-have for the summertime. Sugar-free, non-GMO, and low-carb, Soursop gummies are created by a team that truly cares about helping you heal naturally and holistically. Bundle and save today. Your family's summer strength starts here. Head over to the link in the description or soursopnutrition.com /Sandi. And make sure to use code Sandi20 for 20% off your entire order. Tap the link to start your best summer ever. Now, the third really, innovative, proven way that you can start revolutionizing your event strategy is with live podcasting and attendee guides. Now, we were very, very ambitious with having multiple live podcasting, video content creation, social media content creation, video, photo at Call to Lead. So if you were there, we had multiple podcasting pop-ups. We had multiple sponsors that were there doing photo shoots, headshots, podcasting, video content, photography. And this was very ambitious. Like there was a lot of moving parts. And that being said, I know from the feedback that we got, so many of you women loved this. Like you loved the opportunity to be able to get a lot of content, to be able to come with your own tripods and microphones and be on a podcast and to, get your own content. But for some of you, some of the feedback that we got, we heard you in saying that it felt a little chaotic for you. So that being said, when we have these larger events, so anything from, I would say, 50 and above, 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000 above. And as we continue to grow, these larger events are not for your micro, deep, in-depth, mastermind conversations. These are really for connection, collaboration, community, and to connect with sponsors and speakers and attendees that you may not already be in connection with. So again, Kelly and I were very ambitious in bringing so much of the opportunity of the live podcasting and the social media content and creation into this space. But this is something that I think you have to be in the right headspace to know that there's going to be a lot of moving pieces because that's just kind of how social media works, right? And content creation works when there's a lot of women in the room. Now, if we do this in a smaller setting, which stay tuned because we do have these opportunities coming up, that those smaller groups are specifically curated for more, not necessarily one-on-one, but one to a few versus one to many. And I know for myself, this is where we have our High Performance Academy mastermind days, where we have our retreats, where we really get to go deep into the systems and the strategies and the scale in those intimate, deeper, again, less than 20 even people, I would say, in those kind of experiences. The larger events are really where you get to have these beautiful opportunities where you have podcast booths, content creation, media lounges, and it really gets to be this live content experience where you come and you are co-creators and you're really generating this content real life in person. So that was something that was, again, we got a lot of great feedback on that. And then other people didn't love it so much because they felt like it was a little chaotic. So I would say one of the things that both myself and Kelly do, we have opportunities to go deep within our communities. I have this inside my academy. She has it within her business academy as well. But it's great to have both, right? It's great. Imagine it's it's great for you and your husband to go out on a date, just the two of you, but it's also great to be together at the family reunion and have all of the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and the family together. There's a purpose for both. So I would just say, and actually Steph Carton and I, who is the founder of Entreprenistas, huge community building, was talking about on a pre-call that we did, was knowing the purpose of each of these events. So if you're coming into a room that is larger, more content creation based, more community and connection, then know going in that that's the purpose. If you prefer the more intimate setting and spaces, I would highly recommend coming to the retreat with Kelly and I, Escape and Uplevel, getting into the High Performance Academy, getting into more one-on-one coaching, because that's where you get really, really deep into your strategy, into what you personally want to work on or tweak or implement. But there's a reason and a season for both. So that being said, we loved having all of those pop-up stations. So great for just lots and lots of content and for collaboration and connection. The fourth proven strategy that I want to share with you that has completely revolutionized the event strategy and game is being able to have sponsors that are aligned with the vision and also providing the tools and assets along the way. And so something that Kelly and I did, which I absolutely love, that we were able to provide this at a very high level to the sponsors that were on board for this call to lead, was we did an ROI training where we met with our sponsors before the event, and we were able to coach them and share with them how to get back the investment that they made, so that ROI, before, during, and after the event. And this is something that we really are cultivating an amazing group of women, but also sponsors where this is the room that they want to be in, whether it is a coach, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, no matter what it is, like we have the room and the space to be able to highlight sponsors where your ideal client would be in. So it feels so aligned for the right sponsors to know that, like, if their clothing brand, or if their podcast, or if their wealth management agency is aligned with this kind of potential client or avatar, this is the right fit and room for them to be in. So that being said, we really are nurturing and taking care of our sponsors because we want them to have a phenomenal experience, highlighting them both, well, I should say all, before, during, and after this experience, and really like inviting them into this conversation, whether it's on stage, whether it's highlighting them through social media, through email marketing, so many channels where they are being highlighted to their exact avatar audience. It is the most beautiful opportunity to be able to be aligned with your exact ideal client, right? Because these women that are in the room, they are visionaries, they are entrepreneurs, they are founders. These are women who are really like at the echelon and at the level in their space. And when we can bring all of these beautiful communities together and align them with sponsors that have something to serve them with, again, whether products or services, it is so in alignment for everybody involved. And what I'll even say is, if you're someone who wants to get your product, your service, your brand, your podcast, your book or magazine, whatever it is, in front of this audience, and you would like to be a sponsor at the next call to lead, you can reach out to me. I will drop my email below and I can send you over our sponsorship deck for the next call to lead. What I will say is the spots are going to become more limited each time, every time we do something like this, because we really want sponsors coming on board that feel aligned with this vision and want to stay with us long term, where they feel like it's really serving their audience and what it is that they're building. So again, if you want to get on board and be one of these highlighted sponsors, reach out to me. I'll put my contact information below and we can send you information on what it would look like for you to be a sponsor in this room. And again, there's so many different levels, whether it's through email marketing, social media, being a highlighted sponsor on stage that you get to take advantage of in an audience that you can truly serve into. For me, and my ladies know this inside my academy, I want to create a win-win-win relationship, right? So it is across the board. It's a win-win-win for everybody, whether it's Kelly and I putting on this event, it is for our sponsors and for our attendees, where everyone is walking away feeling so aligned and like they really got out of this a winning opportunity. So again, if you are a sponsor that feels aligned and called to be part of the Called to Lead event experience, reach out to me and I can share that sponsorship information with you. Can we just talk about how bedtime used to be for us? Oh my gosh, you guys, I was hanging off one side of the bed. My kids were laying sideways across the entire bed. And my husband, he was literally falling off the bed. Don't even get me started on the stiff necks. We were actually at the chiropractor more than we were sleeping. We just thought that we had to deal with it until we found Alaskan King bed. Now we can actually co-sleep without the kids kicking us all night long. Everyone has plenty of space, and my husband finally stays in the bed. And we all wake up feeling refreshed, like we actually slept the whole night, because we did. If you're a growing family like us, this bed is a total game changer. More space equals more snuggles, less stress, and so much more quality time. And that was the true reason why we fell in love with this bed. Trust me, you will never go back. So head on over to AlaskanKingBeds.com and use code SANDY for a discount. Wishing you and your family sweet dreams from my family to yours. Make sure you head over to AlaskanKingBeds.com. All right, the fifth proven strategy that I want to share with you that is revolutionizing the event space. And I also want to preface with this, because we're in such a digital age now of like an excess of information with AI and automations just being so top of conversation for everything that we do. And again, I love this because I come from the event space. Events now take on a whole new meaning. Like just to be in a room with other people where you can talk and exchange information and maybe like someone that you can introduce this new contact to. Like events have become the new currency, in my opinion. And this is something that is completely like, if you are in a space now where you're having any touch points with your clientele, where you get to go deeper, have an in-person event kind of experience, this is really the new wave that's coming. And so I think that it's really important that we're having these conversations of not only getting in the room, but also putting yourself in an experience to highlight how you can serve and what it is that you do, because there's nothing that can replace an in-person conversation, an in-person experience. I was up on stage, and before I started my keynote, I said, I want every one of you to turn around and just hug the woman behind you. Right? Because like typically when you sit down at an event, you know the person to your left, you know the person to your right, you've probably already introduced yourself, but you probably didn't know the person behind you. And just to be able to make one new contact, what has been so amazing is I have heard already from countless women who have been at Call to Lead that have told me they have new clients from Call to Lead, they have new collaborations from Call to Lead, they have new business partners from Call to Lead. Like this is the magic that happens when you show up and get into the room, like physically get yourself into the room. So I would just tell all of you, like, whatever your game plan is, whether from now through the end of the year or going into 2026, make sure you're getting in these rooms. Make sure that it's part of your strategy and your plan, like your visibility plan, to be getting into these rooms and cultivating these conversations and cultivating these dynamic relationships that are so hard to just get from a DM. It's those kind of relationships aren't going to blossom unfortunately, from a message in the DMs, right? So get in the rooms, have the conversations. And I'm telling you, just from like my ladies that I've been talking to post event, they are already having new, not just friendships, because that is amazing. And that's part of the whole vision that Kelly and I have saw from the beginning, but they are creating new contacts, new collaborations, new business ventures, new clients. Like there's so much coming from this. And we're only maybe 2 weeks out from the event. So get in the room, make it a priority. And again, reach out to us if you want to be involved in a deeper way that'll get you spotlighted and highlighted as the authority in your space, so you can really claim what it is that you're doing for more women in the space to know. Because no matter what it is that you do, it could be a product, you could have a service. If people don't know you and how you can serve them, then that doesn't do anybody any good. We need to get eyeballs on what you're doing, more people knowing about you, so we can really highlight you and share you out in the space. So again, reach out to us if that is something that you're interested in. All right, another really fun interactive concept that we put into revolutionizing our event strategy for Call to Lead was our post-event asset sharing. Now, I've been to so many events where you are kind of on your own to get your assets, to take your photos. We very, very strategically had so many points of contact, like I mentioned, with our podcasting, with our photo ops and our media, where we really wanted women to walk away with like a catalog of content. as we know, the holidays are coming up. You get slammed with so much on your plate just because of the high level of all the things going on for the holidays. And the really cool thing is that we had the opportunity for the ladies to make and take and walk away post events with all of this assets. And so we actually shared the photos, the videos, the sound bites based on the sponsors that we had for the women to walk away with all of these post events. And the really cool thing about this from an event perspective, as like the event host perspective, is that this will keep your event alive and going long after the event is over. So again, we are now 2 weeks post event, and I'm seeing all across social media the assets, the videos, the photos from Called to Lead. So it's so beautiful that now, as all of this content's coming out, all of the ladies that were there have these assets that they can use across all their platforms going forward. So that's something to think about, putting that into your own event strategy, how that's going to work for you, how that benefits your clients. Because again, at the end of the day, it has to be a win-win for everybody. So the attendees, the guests, feel like they're walking away with so much more than they ever expected coming into that event, into that room. And then you, as the event host, you get to over deliver on whatever that was. Now, I will say we were testing out a new like photo feature. And because the Wi-Fi was really spotty in the venue, some of that, the technical issues, again, events, they have a mind of their own. It was going in and out. There's some things that you just can't control. So what we did is, again, we were able to post event, give these assets, share these assets out with our community, our Call to Lead community, so they can use those from all the assets that the photographers had and so on. So that's something to think about, again, as you host your own events, how to really make this a beautiful curated experience, not just at the event, but post event. All right. The next tip that I want to share with you, and this is something really special, is pre-selling next year's tickets. Now, I know people are like, oh my gosh, sales, it's so salesy and I don't want to have to sell anything. But from events, the beautiful thing about running events is that you get to give your community, you get to give them an opportunity to actually have a higher touch point, a higher experience for taking advantage for, let's say, an early bird special. So whether it's for a retreat, like Kelly and I announced the retreat that we're doing at Call to Lead. And so for those of you that took advantage of that, you got the early bird special, like we're at a diner, the early bird special for Call to Lead at the event. And then we did a 1 week post kind of promo for that as well. But also leveraging your ticket sales for people to get to have even like a deeper experience with you post event. So maybe someone had a regular GA ticket with you this year. Well, now they have the opportunity because of that early bird to maybe now be a VIP, to be a diamond, to get to go deeper into that experience with you. So what I'll say is like offering that early bird access as well as all of the benefits that come with that. And what I'll mention to you ladies here is, and this actually also ties back into our sponsors, any of our sponsors who sign up as sponsors for next year's event, which by the way is October 1st of 2026, they will be sponsored throughout the entire course of the next year leading up to the event. So all of that runway that we have from, let's say right now is the beginning of October until October of next year, once those sponsors sign up, they will now be, listen, this is like insane. And I'm so excited for the sponsors that take advantage of this. They will now be featured to my audience, Kelly's audience. We're talking social media, email marketing, podcasting, our virtual networking parties, and we will also be launching throughout the year in-person events as well, smaller, but they will have the opportunity to get in front of that audience throughout the entire course of the year leading up to the next Call to Lead. So we're really, really making it very special for our sponsors that are coming on board, because the ROI, you could literally, as a sponsor, you could be covering all of those costs that you have, depending on what level you choose. You could be covering that within the first month. So it's so beautiful. Again, win, win, win for everybody involved. But going back to the ticket sales, you also, as a ticket holder, get to have first access into all of the events that Kelly and I are curating throughout the course of the year. So there's so much benefit to getting in early, to being a part of the movement, to doing the networking. Like this caliber of women and this level of a community, it's so unique and special because these women are very, very focused. We are all very focused on intentionally building very successful businesses, but also families and faith and your fitness and friendships around the whole ecosystem of how this all works. So if you feel in alignment with that and you're like, yes, these are the kind of women I want to be working out with, working with, connecting with, collaborating with, this is the space to be. And get in now and get in early because then you have access to this throughout the entire course of the year. Okay. And then the seventh point that I want to mention, because this goes into exactly what I'm talking right now, is this year-round community building. And we actually just last week launched our Facebook community, our Call to Lead Facebook community. So as soon as you buy a ticket, you will get access into the private Facebook group community, as well as all of the post-event networking parties and the pre-event networking parties leading up to this event, and then the micro events that we're doing throughout the course of the year. Okay. The virtual meetups, the in-person meetups. So my hope and my wish for you is that you get into this community and that you utilize it as a system and a tool throughout the course of your business and your strategy for what you are building. Because this is literally the curated room for you to be in where women are building the businesses, building the foundational structures the right way with intention and with women who are holding the faith and the family and the business and all of these at such a high level. You're not going to find this walking outside. Like I always say that you're not going to walk out onto your street or into a restaurant and find these type of caliber level conversations. This is the kind of environments that it's very curated because the level at which these women are operating their homes and their businesses and their families, it is so special. And again, this caliber, it's just very, very unique to a conversation I have not been hearing online where women are talking about the importance of, yes, building businesses, but also the date nights that they have with their husbands or the quality time that they spend with their husbands and their families, right? So like the mission and the conversation is about getting to have it all and not feeling neglect in any of these areas. And that is so special and unique. And that's what is being built inside of this community. So with that being said, if you feel called to lead as a woman that wants to be in this community as an attendee or as a sponsor, I highly recommend, as of this moment that we are recording, we are still in early bird tickets. We will be announcing on October 13th all of the benefits of our diamond ticket holders. We have literally next level access that we've just built in to some really fun throughout the course of the year and even post event, what we're building into this community. I promise you, this is something that nobody else is doing, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you feel aligned with this mission and the way that we are building this community, that it is important to you to build with purpose and intention and with faith and with family at the forefront of everything that you're building, then I welcome you into the Call to Lead family. And I cannot wait for you to see what we're building and the women and the community that come along with all of this. So again, I really would love for you. I'll actually put all the information down in the description for you to come check it out. Grab your ticket for next year. Again, if you feel called to be involved in a deeper level as a sponsor, I can get you information on that. And if you want to go even deeper and be a part of the High Performance Academy community, where we do weekly calls, we go really deep into like the masterminding strategy, systems, and scale, then I invite you into the High Performance Academy as well. I will link all of this down in the description. So it's a choose your own adventure. You can do all of it. You can pick one or two of these, but I highly recommend that if if you are here and you're listening to this Slay Your Day podcast, that you are here for a reason. And I'm welcoming you with open arms into this community because this is your tribe. This will be your home. And you will find so many beautiful, expansive conversations, community, and collaborations here within this community. So I welcome you into the High Performance Academy, into the Call to Lead family. I cannot wait to see you inside. And as always, ladies, make sure you go out and slay your day. And before I leave you with that, I would also love for you to share this with someone that is looking for this kind of community. Share this with a friend, share this with a neighbor, with a sister, with someone that you want to invite into this community. You never know whose life you're going to change just by sharing something, a quick little copy and paste into a text message, into a DM to share this, because you never know whose life you will change just by sharing this out. So that would be my ask of you, is just to share this out, because you never know whose life that you can change that needs and is looking for a community. I was that woman. 8 years ago, I came here to South Florida and I did not have a community. I didn't think a community like this existed. I didn't think women like this existed. And so in my quest to find it, I figured I would have to build it. And then in that process, I met so many beautiful, inspiring, motivated women who were really looking to build also this vision of family and business and faith and freedom. So again, please share this with someone that you think would resonate with this kind of community, because you could change her life today. So thank you, ladies, for being here. And as always, make sure you go out and slay your day.